Hello everybody, this is Nate, aka Devil Dog, and this time I'm back with a complete walkthrough of the Fractal Continuum Hard Mode. This is the new dungeon released a part of patch 4.2. It is a level 70 dungeon with a minimum item level of 310, and it will drop level 325 gear. It will consist of typical trash mobs and 3 main bosses. Since all the trash mobs are generally your standard issue trash mobs with nothing really out of the ordinary that you should be expecting, we're going to go ahead and skip straight to the bosses. Alright, your first boss of this new dungeon is the Mother Bit, a giant Allagan tombstone. Now, this boss doesn't really have too many main move mechanics that you have to deal with, other than your basic, when you first start the match, make sure that the tank pulls the aggro away from the enemy and faces away from the other characters. As you'll see all these bits, Magitech bits on the outside of the arena, it will cast a move called Electrochemical Transfer, which will tether to these, and they will either zoom across the area, creating a AoE on their path. You just want to avoid it, as you see right here. And other than that, the only other move that he will do will be something that is known as the Allagan Gravity, which will consist, as you see coming up right here, it's just a ground AoE that you just want to get out of the way and avoid. Now, he'll cycle through these alternate, going back to the Electrochemical Transfer. This time, though, he'll do a move with them that is known as Citadel Buster. They will form in a line, and what you want to do is not cross them after they have that laser up, because if you do, you will get a vulnerability up and a knockback, which could kill you. You want to space yourself as close to them as possible in between them, so when the blast goes off, you do not get hit. As long as you avoid that, that is really the only mechanics you'll have to deal with this first boss battle. Is the Electrochemical Transfer, where they will pretty much fly across the field. You just have to avoid their path. They will charge up the Citadel Buster, where you do not want to touch their line that they create, because it will create a vulnerability up and a knockback effect, followed by that blast that you want to squeeze in between, which is kind of hard to judge. And the Allagan Gravity. As long as you just watch out for those moves, you'll have no problem in beating the Mother Bit and moving on to the second boss. The second boss of this new dungeon is the Ultima Warrior. Now, the main thing about this guy is the only real specific move I notice you have to watch out for is something that will pop up. It will say Citadel Buster, and it will be a frontal AoE blast that, other than showing it on the screen, like right here, Citadel Buster, it won't really telegraph it that much. You want to stay out of in front of them. But the main mechanic with this guy is, as you see on the outside of the arena, are several statues of all the classic guys, including Sophia, Sephiroth, and Zurvan. And what he'll do is he'll hook a tether to one of them and pretty much take certain moves from each of those characters to add to his battle repertoire as you're going through this battle. Other than that, it's really not that difficult. Just pay attention to what moves he's casting on. And naturally, if you have the little arrow above your head, you want to stack. If you have the little meteors falling, someone wants to stand in there to eat it. That way it avoids taking massive damage for everyone. And throughout the battle, he'll just mix up certain move sets from these 3 monsters. And like I said, we got through it pretty easily. The only problem that I noticed is he'll start combining moves, especially with that Citadel frontal blaster, with other things, including air theoplasm, I think it is, where it's like an AoE that he'll lay down, at least when he switches to I think it's Sephiroth's character. It'll grow across the screen. But other than that, he didn't really seem that difficult. The hardest problem I had with him was just memorizing the fact that he'd combine his moves like the Citadel Buster with other moves as well. And other than that, he doesn't really telegraph too many differences. As you see here with the Citadel Buster, when he attaches to Sephiroth, it's slightly different. And this time it'll cause the AoE on the ground to form that will grow and grow, similar to some of the moves that Sephiroth did. And as long as you just pay attention to what character he is at that particular time, if it's Sophia, Sephiroth, or Zurvan, just pay attention and avoid his AoE attacks. Have the tank pull away from the other players, and you should have no problem in beating the Ultima Warrior. Alright, the final boss of this new dungeon is the Ultima Beast. He has several different moves that you'll have to pay attention to throughout the battle. All in all, at the very beginning he'll raise up, and when he raises up, as you'll see coming up shortly, you'll want to get as close to him as possible, because when he comes down it'll be like a ground pound move. Now, we didn't notice, like right here, when he comes down, if you ain't close enough you will be hit and hurt. Later on he'll do the same move, but it's not the same. It's like a tail whip, so you'll have to remember the first time he does it, get close. The second time he does it, get away. Now, throughout the battle, he'll do Flare Star, which he'll randomly pick a character and attack with a blast. Then he'll follow with Elegant Gravity. As you see a ball above your head, what you want to do is get away from the other characters. Meanwhile, he'll also do like a room-wide AoE, and you want to get as far away from him as possible. So you want to get away from the other characters and away from him as, to avoid causing major damage. Then we'll pick a character and apply a move called Light Pillar. That character, generally, if you're able to be in the middle, it works better, because there'll be these white arrows that will come out from that area that you want to get in between to avoid being hit by. Then he'll cast Demi Ultima. This first time it's a rather quick charge, and there's nothing you can do other than heal through it. It's not really that bad of a move. It's later on when he does it, that's when you got to pay close attention. Now, as you're burning him down, he will keep going through these different moves, including a move called Forlorn Beast, which is a frontal attack, and the Elegant Flare, which is also another frontal attack, and he'll also just progressively just mix it up, but it'll be the basic moves as you go through. As you see here, another Elegant Flare. Now, it's not until you actually get his life down fairly far that he'll start combining the moves to make it a little bit more difficult. Now, as you go and you burn him down, as you see, we're kicking his ass pretty good. He does Flare Star a couple more times, but not really that major. You see the ground floor, AoE attack. Avoid him. Just get away from him as far as possible to avoid taking too much damage. Again with Elegant Flare. But then he'll pick a character, as you see there. Well, he'll have a move, and you'll want to try to place it on the outside of the arena to where the arrows are facing away from the other characters to avoid them taking damage. It's not that hard to do, actually, because the arrows are very large, very noticeable, so everybody in the group should be able to notice that to avoid it. Now, as you go through, like I said, once you get his life down, he starts combining moves, like combining Light Pillar along with the Elegant Gravity move. So the person that has Light Pillar's got to place it somewhere on the opposite end of the arena, and also be able to get away with the Elegant Gravity, so that nobody in your character group is actually stacking, or you'll take massive damage of both the Elegant Gravity and that Light Pillar. It can wipe you out pretty quickly. So that one was kind of a pain in the ass, but not really that difficult. Then he'll follow through with several more moves, a Flare Star and some other moves like the Elegant Flares. But once you get his life down to a certain part, he will start charging a move called Demi Ultima again. Now, this Demi Ultima is not like the first one. This one is pretty much a one-hit kill if you don't kill him fast enough, because it starts charging, as you see here, and it's actually charging pretty slow. But this is a one-hit kill for everyone, a total wipe if you do not defeat him before he fully charges Demi Ultima. As long as you focus down on him, burn his ass down real quick, even using your limit break if you have to, you'll be able to beat this boss and no problem. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all the bosses you'll have to deal with this new dungeon. This was Nate, aka Devil Dog, and I want to say thank you for everyone who subscribes to my channel. I want to say thank you for everyone who watches this video. Please leave a comment below if this helps you in any way at all. Let me know if I missed anything, because like I said, this was only my first playthrough. There might have been some moves and stuff that I did not see, but in the end, I'm sure it will help you. Thank you very much, and I always end my videos by saying, have fun, play hard, and remember, people, devil's in the details. Peace out.